Between a secluded little beach and the encroaching jungle lies the trail of Greenwood-Haigh. Little remains of what was once the first city of Principe. The forest is always hungry and has taken over what once was here. Only the church still stands, a blackened ruin vaulted with tree roots and spiders' webs. Its hollow walls a home for bees, silent but for the sound of the surf and the wind in the sabre trees. Like all haunted places, it has built a multitude of legends. The locals avoid it at night, and there are rumours of dark rituals, visitations, witchcraft and ghosts. The most persistent of these is that of the legendary Black Princess, whose spirit haunts these ruins and whose story has grown, like the forest itself, almost obscuring her history. Her name was Maria Salema Carrera. She was born in 1788 of a wealthy Brazilian plantation owner and a woman of Principe. Thus, Maria Carrera was born into a life of luxury. The only child of her doting father, she was strong and beautiful and used to getting whatever she wanted. At the age of 24, she married José Ferreira Gomes, the Brazilian landowner and entrepreneur who brought the first cacao tree to São Tomé and Principe. Like Maria's father, he was a wealthy businessman, dealing in slaves and cacao. The parcel of land at Greenwood-Haigh was part of Maria's dowry, intended for the planting of the new crop of cacao trees. Instead, Maria built a church, and her legend started to grow. Powerful women of colour have always attracted the censure and suspicion of both the church and society. Perhaps this is why Maria chose to build a church as her first gift to the island, to placate those who believed that a woman should not own land or help to run a business. She was warm and generous, giving freely to the poor and doing good works in the community. Rumour had it that this was a front, that behind her facade of piety she was promiscuous and corrupt, taking her pick of the male slaves her husband traded in secret, using her charms to divert attention from the real source of the family's wealth. In 1837, Maria's husband José died, and Maria was left a widow. For 10 years she enjoyed a life of freedom and luxury. She ran the estate and came to enjoy the influence it gave her. She found she liked wielding authority and wearing fine clothes and jewellery. Men underestimated her at their peril. She was as ruthless in business as any man. Predictably, the rumours grew. Maria had murdered her husband, some said. Some said she had exhausted him with her insatiable appetites. Some said she was a witch who had cursed him to death when he discovered her many infidelities. In any case, Maria made a flamboyant widow. Wealthy, beautiful, and as generous as ever, she kept 2 palaces equipped with a staff of full-time servants, and had only been prevented from building a 3rd because its size would have dwarfed the church. Her influence grew. By now she had become the most powerful woman on the island. Then, 10 years later, she married again, to a man 20 years her junior. He was Aureliano da Silva, a Brazilian painter, chosen by Maria for his remarkable good looks. But the marriage did not last. 5 years later he was dead, rumour said, of poison. Perhaps his infidelities had reached the ears of Maria, or perhaps he too was a victim of her special kind of witchcraft. In 1861 she died, leaving no children to inherit her estate. No epitaph or grave marks her final resting place, which is maybe why she rests so uneasily. And her land was claimed by a distant relative, the godson of her first husband, who bribed corrupt officials to claim the whole of her fortune. Only this church and the legend remains of this strong and remarkable woman who defied the church, the law, and all the conventions of her day to become a queen of the island. Even now, her memory strikes unease into men's hearts, and her legacy lives on in island girls who dare to dream.
There's a thing crawling on your neck.
There is.